My name is James Sam. I'm an associate animation director. I've been with Insomniac for almost 7 years now. Worked on mission pods on this team, so did like some short cinematics, some gameplay stuff. A little bit of jack of all trades was my team's focus on this project.
I'm Robert Coddington, or you can call me Bobby. I'm a senior animation director. Been in Insomniac for 10 years. We did, Sunset Overdrive going into the Spider-Man titles, and been working on those for the last 9 years. Primarily focusing now on narrative cinematics. We're building on what we've done in the past, and so one of the things you'll notice right away is that we've put a lot more story. We're telling multiple hero stories, and then of course our villains have their own relatable stories as well that kind of echo what the heroes are going through. And so you'll see right away that obviously we've expanded the gameplay and the traversal, and the world is bigger and faster. And then even within the narrative sequences, you'll notice that there's more of it, and there are larger set pieces, more details. We've really pushed things as much as we can with the efficiency that we've sort of grown into.
Yeah, we've been working on these games for a long time now. So it's kind of just been this evolution and this growth that even just us at the studio have constantly been trying to push one another to make better content, to push things, to see things that we haven't necessarily seen before, or things that we haven't done before as a studio. And that comes with the storytelling. And you get that with the story with Peter and his best friend Harry, and seeing how that evolves over time, and then seeing Miles and how he confronts Lee and everything like that. You start to see the story elements that have been built due to the past game. So we kind of build upon that, and it's this great evolution, and that also goes into the gameplay, kind of like what Bobby was saying, where the traversal and the swinging, and then making new versions of that, and making new ways that you can get around the city in different styles. So one of the big ones is the web wings. That's a huge game changer, where if you want to use them, you can. You don't have to, but it is a game changer on how you get around the city. I mean, that accompanied with the speed of the PS5, it allows us to get from one end to the city a lot faster now. So the speed in which you can swing has been greatly improved. One of the other things like introversial that I love to do is like we have loop-de-loops now, and you can dive and go into a loop-de-loop, and it's a great feeling to like build up that speed and just kind of go. It just gives this great excitement and anticipation right before you launch off. Between that, the slingshot mechanic now that we showed in the trailer, there's a lot of little new things that just add to the overall experience from playing the game.
Combat is faster. Your access to your abilities is faster. Obviously, Peter's symbiote abilities they're very satisfying. It's fun to get that power. And hats off to our combat team for developing something that is so visually satisfying and feels good to play. And trying to discover what those would look like and how they would emanate from the characters. I remember some of the earliest tests from one of our animators, Deucen Shin, and it's just inspiring work that helped everyone sort of iterate it to what it became. Everybody knows that the best stories are where the Spider-Men are trying to find that balance between being the human that they are and the Spider-Man that they are. So they're obviously things are coming along. Like they're searching just like all of us, and we see ourselves in them, and that's why it feels good. And they are trying to manage that balance, and something is going to come along and throw that out of balance. And then what we've done, even if you see in characters like Kraven, he's also sort of looking for this meaning in life and what is coming next. And then even to some extent, and I don't want to spoil things, but Venom's in the game. Like there is this theme that we can all identify with of what are my next steps, and what is this all going to add up to in a meaningful way. And I think at a root level, that's one of the reasons that no matter how fantastic what you're watching is, or whether it's the action or the situation, that you're in at a root level. Like your heart understands what this character wants and why. What do you think, James?
Yeah, I mean, just to add to that, like, yeah, it's a lot of it has to do with relatability. There's certain instances where you've been in Peter's shoes in this moment, or you've been in Miles' shoes, and that creates that relatability to these characters. And within each scene and narrative, I tend to look at each scene almost like every shot tells its own story. And when you put it all together, that's when you get a full scene. And with that, you're able to pick up the story that we're trying to tell, and you'll notice like small nuances in each scene and each story and each shot where we're conveying this feeling. And it just overall, like when you put it all together, it creates this story that's like super relatable from a superhero, especially from a superhero perspective, where as a player, you want to feel like Peter, you want to feel like Miles. And after like looking at the feedback we got from the first game, I heard a lot of times when people would play the game, they're like, I am Spider-Man. You get that feeling like you are the one doing it. You're not just controlling a character, you are the character, you know? And I think that helps to create that relatability while also in those story cinematics, when you aren't playing, you're feeling like you are in that story. It's hard. It's hard, but it's
twice
also
as much work is what it is.
Twice as much work, but it's also so rewarding when you're able to like figure it out. And a lot of times when like creating like Peter's version of Spider-Man, we have a lot of things to pull from. He's been around for so long now, so we have references. We have comic book poses that we could pull from that make Peter feel like Peter. Whereas Miles, he's been around for roughly 13-ish years. He doesn't have as much, so it gives us a little bit more creative freedom to like find those poses for him, find his creativity, make him, especially with the story, tie that into his character where Peter is fully experienced. Miles isn't there just yet, and we get to kind of see him grow from the last Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. You get to see him grow in some of his moves where they looked very inexperienced and kind of just like a teenager, just kind of like trying to figure it all out. In this game, you'll see hints of that, but you can see it's more refined. You'll see he's grown in those moves. So it's like, oh, that looked like an evolution of the previous move that he was doing. And I think in that, you're able to find a difference between Peter's version of Spider-Man and Miles' Spider-Man, and then elaborate on that. And just kind of, when creating them, kind of think like, what would be the Peter way of doing this? And then what would be the Miles way of doing this? Even if it is the same type of action, what would be the two different ways of going about this action? As far as gameplay, I think one of the biggest pushes is the power of the PS5 and how fast you can really traverse out the city. Like, it's such a game changer. You'll play the first game and it's great and it's fun, and then you play this one and you can still feel the difference. You can feel the speed difference. And then with fast travel, being able to like load up the screen and then instantly go there within a few seconds, pretty much with no loading screens. It's almost instant. It's just a lot of fun, to be honest.
It's so fluid, and then to see, you know, the city just gleam while you're doing it. It looks, you know, so good that, you know, the tech that is doing, you know, real-time reflections and the improvements to how it looks while you're, you know, swinging and fighting. Like it feels good. And if you grew up on Tony Hawk like I did, you know, I don't even want to go back and play those games because I don't want to find out how not fluid it feels, you know, like, because this is feeling really, really good, you know. So hats off to the traversal team and everybody who's, you know, making the environments work and the traversal flow the way it flows.
The one thing I'm gonna talk about, just because the web wings, they're fun to play with, but the one thing I do truly appreciate is it gives you a chance to look at the city from a brand new perspective that you couldn't do in the past. Because in the past games, you'd go up, you swing, you come right back down, you go up, you have that rhythm. In this game, you can like go up and then just kind of soar, and then you're able to like really see how beautiful the city looks. So like the way the lighting team and environment and everything, you get to really appreciate everything that they were able to put into the game from a different perspective that you couldn't before. Enjoy the game. I do want to see photo mode pictures, because photo mode is great. That's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, like let's see pictures of Spider-Man, as J. Jonah Jameson would say. We just
hope, like, we do love this and we care and we try so hard, and we hope everyone, you know, feels that and loves it, and this is, you know, something they love for their life.
My name is James Sam. I'm an associate animation director at Insomniac Games.
My name is Bobby Coddington. I'm a senior animation director at Insomniac Games, and you're watching Pixel.tv.